lost yet. Show the bruises and you don't know who to trust yet. Do you get enough yet? Upon the proof and now you're freezing to the touch yet. Yeah. Tell me where you're at, where you going. Move a little slower when you. Yeah. Tell me where you're at, where you going. I'll move a little slower when you cut me open.
I burn through, glowing in the dark for you, and I'm bleeding, but I won't move. So come and find me if you want me to burn, then ignite me. I burn through, glowing in the dark for you, and I'm bleeding, but I won't move. So come and find me if you want me to burn, then ignite.
Freezing fingers cut the ringer off your phone, yeah. Watch your tone, yeah. Don't forget you only know what I have shown, yeah. Yeah. Tell me where you're at, where you going. Move a little slower when you. Yeah. Tell me where you're at, where you going. I'll move a little slower when you cut me open.
I burn through, glowing in the dark for you, and I'm bleeding, but I won't move. So come and find me if you want me to burn, then ignite me. I burn through, glowing in the dark for you, and I'm bleeding, but I won't move. So come and find me if you want me to burn, then ignite.
Pop my head out, see the windows going down. Though they fill with tears, hope those people never drown. I'm wearing my best, hit the sidewalk with my head. Hope I look alright. Yeah. I'm running through traffic and I'm tearing down the flag. I thought I'd drop my spirits, but I never look back. Thought I'd drop my spirits, but I never look back. But I never look back. What's the point? I heard that you had a girlfriend, gluing you together every time that your world ends. I hear you, even when the song ends, gluing me together every time that my world ends. I hear you, even when the song ends, gluing me together every time that my world ends. Now I feel myself break to the songs that I keep playing. Might take all my money, but you'll never shake my faith. God only knows why I feel this way. Hope I look alright. Yeah. I know that I'm stubborn, I could never love the suburbs, even though I left you waiting for me underneath the covers. It's sad.
Gotta drop those habits, but they always come back.
But they always come back, that's my point. I heard that you had a girlfriend, gluing you together every time that your world ends. I hear you, even when the song ends, gluing me together every time that my world ends. Never thought you'd ever care enough to fight back. Never thought I'd ever jump just like that. Never thought you'd ever care enough to fight back. Never thought I'd I heard that you had a girlfriend, gluing you together every time that your world ends. I hear you, even when the song ends, gluing me together every time that my world ends. I heard that you had a girlfriend, gluing me together every time that your world ends. I hear you, even when the song ends, gluing me together every time that my world ends.
I did my best at having that end not abruptly, and yet here we are. I fucked it up.
Fantastic.
There was one more note. I don't know what note it was, but I'm pretty sure there was another note or two that
That's okay. I kind of we that was kind of a thing in the demo that the song went on for a long time, like at the end, and we were like, leave it in there.
I'll leave it in there. We can sing it too for the full effect if we need that.
Yeah, what can you just sing those last note? The last note.
Can't get
Yeah,
that.
there we go.
Yeah.
He's a singer.
Just for everything. No, but I mean, you kept everything on time. You know, at the end of the day,
thank
it's
you.
all important. You know, so and it's music. Is it really the
Is
you
it
know,
real?
it should be fun. Is it real? No, I don't know.
No, it's not
But
real.
so welcome to everybody in. It was cool to see everybody just chatting it up in the chat. I guess that's why it's called chat. But my name is Chris. For those of you who are new here, I go by Voices Chris on social media. I've been doing A&R and artist management and working in music for years. I used to sing, but now I help people who are way better than me at doing that thing, like Kyle here, and music in general, like Colton here. But I do the show every week, and on Wednesdays we celebrate the creative process and everyone who's a part of it. We listen to unreleased demos, provide constructive criticism, unlike some shows, and celebrate new releases as a community. On Fridays, we interview awesome people that I admire, and I'm so excited about my guests tonight, DBMK.
I feel like I'm on Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon.
You
Thank
are. You're out. It's like the only difference is I'm in sweatpants.
That's he probably is underneath the table,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's what the desk is for, is to fucking
Right,
hide the whole entire thing. But I'll give you guys a little bit of an introduction, and then we'll dive into it. But Kyle here is the singer, Colton drums, but together accomplish so much that in my opinion, it's hard to believe that it's just two of you like creating all this stuff and combining all of these sounds from all of your favorite music. You guys are carving a lane all your own, full of eclectic and empowering alt pop, hot off your release of your brand new EP, Jump in the Dark. You're creating a world for your cult, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But before we get into all of that, we're not gonna talk about music for a second, which I know is completely counter to everything we just fucking talked about.
Come on.
Thank God we're not talking about it. Yeah.
Because we're all here to just vent about how much we don't like music. That's what the stream is
Yeah.
really about. No, I'm just kidding.
For real.
But I do want to start by because some of these streams I don't know the people I'm interviewing. I've had the fortune of getting to hang out with you guys a few times pre-pandemic, of course. But the thing that I'm excited about, like the thing that I love the most about the show is I get to kind of ask questions that I wouldn't normally ask in just like in passing. So I'm going to ask you something that feels like off of what I normally would ask, but basically I just want to hear about where you guys grew up, what it was like culturally, leaving music out of it, and just like the sights, the smells,
Uh-huh.
the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well,
Like,
you
I
guys should
don't know.
exactly.
Well,
I was
yes,
gonna say you should know a thing or two about where I grew up, Chris.
for sure, but it's perspective and your family and the people you're
Right.
around. Like, I didn't get to meet you around that time. So
I know we weren't
Yeah.
friends in high school. I guess I'm a little younger than you.
But there is a lot of similarities between, because Colton and I grew up we didn't grow up in the same town, but there's a lot of there's a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences in where we grew up too. That definitely sculpted us as a person.
Absolutely.
If you've been to Clearwater and St. Pete, obviously you know it's like drastically different than Bradenton is. But
yeah, I mean, like, to start it off, like I was born in and raised in Bradenton my entire life. I moved up to Nashville when I was 18 years old, but I never moved houses. Like, I stayed in one spot. I went to like almost one school my entire life. And you know, I mean, it's funny to talk to somebody who's actually from Bradenton, because you know how there's not too much to do except go to the beach.
it's kind of that like sleepy beach
yeah.
surf town.
Yeah, and all the churches or all the shows are at churches or like
Right.
fire halls and stuff like that.
This is true.
We played one show in Bradenton.
Oh, we did. You know where we played is the Performing Arts Center in Bradenton.
Okay.
Have you been there before?
It was actually pretty nice.
I don't know. Was that like almost like on the edge of like Palmetto or?
It was like downtown, right on the river. It might have been built after you left.
It might have been. Man,
It's a-
you're really you're really trying to like tell people my age over here. Don't out me.
No,
You're
no, no,
old,
no.
dude.
I'm
This
not-
is not for old people,
No,
bro.
no, no.
Damn. All right. Well, guys, it was good talking to you. I'll let you take it from
See you
here.
later, man. Well, I grew up in not a musical household at all. My dad showed me like rock music, like Linkin Park. I remember I was just listening to the other day, and I was like, man, this is so good, because this is what my dad played in the car. But both my parents are in finance. Didn't really grow, and I think that was kind of a similarity.
Yeah,
we both grew
Yeah,
up.
very similar.
And in school, and all I was really good at was music. I tried sports and everything, and
What sports did you
doing
try?
it. What's that?
What sports did you try?
I tried.
He
Let's
was
see.
a baseball boy.
I was a baseball boy. I did like travel baseball, and I did football as well. I was never really too good at it. I tried out for basketball, didn't make the team. But yeah, music was really the only thing I was good at. And at my school, if you didn't do sports or fish, you were really weird.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was that type of thing where it was almost looked down upon to play music or be into music, know about music. And yeah, it was just very abnormal, I'd say, to,
Mhm.
you know. What about you?
I grew up. I grew up in Clearwater / St. Pete, Florida. When I was younger, I grew up in Clearwater, but I ended up going to high school in St. Pete, and that was where I learned everything about everything.
Yeah, all the shows we had to drive up to you guys to go to the shows.
Yeah. All the venues there's a lot. The scene was in St. Pete, but I grew up like in a bunch of my mom and I lived in a number of like apartment complexes and stuff like that when I was growing up, and I spent a lot of time at my grandma's house in like North Clearwater, and a lot of my music actually came from hanging out at like skate shops and stuff with all the older kids when I was straight up like hanging out with these really weird crusty dudes that were like, I don't know, I hope they're all okay. But yeah,
you said a bunch of skater dudes
yeah, just a bunch of skaters. So they showed me
at like Spot or like.
no. This was different. This is like West Side Skate Shop in like Hudson.
Okay.
And that kind of thing. And it was just, that was my first like little community that showed me any music that blew the roof off the whole thing for me. I was like, oh my God, now I know about the Cribs. Now I know about literally the entire, just like gangster rap and punk rock, and like drill was really big at the time. So that was what everything that everybody listened to. And just all this like counterculture music, right? And now it's literally the backbone for so much that we do, right. Even though we hardly make like counterculture music, but it is the music that we love and listen to on a regular basis. But
I think it was interesting that we both didn't grow up in like a musical family.
Yeah, I
like,
was
my
very
cousins, and I wasn't in like
yeah.
I think what was interesting is that we both had to find it for ourselves. Like, and we had extremely supportive parents that helped us, like garnered our I don't know, just our love for making music.
Yeah.
Like my parents got me a drum set for my probably like my 5th or 6th birthday, and they put me right into lessons. Like I felt very privileged that I was able to find that I was just in love with making music.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. We both had to stumble upon it ourselves, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I was very much a black sheep in my family in that way. My family's really small, and when I was growing up, as I started to get into music, there was I had so much support, and I owe everything to my family. But the scene and the little community that I came out of was very much indicative of the music that I would end up making too. And then I got older and I was going into high school and stuff like that, and started building like a record collection, like some sort of, I don't know, and started going to like the shows and the venues there and stuff like that. And that's when like my third eye of music like opened up in St. Pete with an actual music scene and actual shows and stuff like that. And then suddenly it was like, I'm going to do this now. Like I have to do this. This is all I think about. So.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome, and it's like it's funny because you were talking about like trying out for sports and stuff like that. Like I feel like I avoided, I liked like extreme sports and stuff, but I wasn't really great at like sports like basketball and all that kind of stuff. In fact, in like PE, I feel like I was like I think they had like chess or stuff like that as like an option for PE because it still was like physical movement. So I chose whatever required the least amount of physical activity I chose as a kid, which was like not we didn't have Queen's Gambit at that time, so I guess I was early on the trend. But I'm looking at the chat right now, and it looks like some shout out church basement shows because those were the old places. And then
yeah, keep going.
I was saying somebody said they saw you play with Hardcastle a couple years ago.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
We love Hardcastle. It's funny because they were a Nashville band, and then we played with them in Florida and in Nashville. But we run into those guys all the time up here. Kyle lives like down the street. I was on a bike ride the other day, and we don't see each other very often. Obviously, we're in pandemic times, but I was literally cycling down the street. And I look across the street and I'm like, that guy looks familiar. And I look up and it's Graham from Hardcastle. And we just kind of went, oh, hey, like so nice that you are still alive. And that's why we love Nashville.
Yeah. It's a cool place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's especially weird now. Like, I feel like it was when the pandemic had first started, I didn't see anybody I knew in person in public for months. And then I saw somebody that I knew, and it was like I had just seen Beyonce or something. It was like a celebrity effect because I'm like, I see you in my screen. There's no way you're really like here right now. Yeah. And I was just like, Alex, and he's like in his PJs walking his dog, and he's like, oh, holy shit! Like was startled from the whole entire thing. So
we spent like over a month apart from each other.
It was like 2 months.
Was it 2 months?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was terrible. It was terrible.
That's why when I saw Kyle for the first, I was like, yeah, it's like Beyonce. God. Like, whoa, man.
Well,
you're in my band.
I am much like Beyonce. Anyways, but
yeah. I mean, you guys have like I don't know. You compete. You're like really going after the hair, like trying to challenge the thing. I don't know. Beyonce still takes the crown for that one.
Well, I don't. Okay, I don't want.
But you're making progress.
I am not even. I am okay. I redact that. I'm not even in the same lane as Beyonce whatsoever. I have my hair. She has her hair. That's a totally different thing. And here we are.
No, it's too late. You already lost. You can't just like back out and like start your own competition and win that one.
Exactly. There is no competition.
No, I appreciate it, dude. Sorry, I'm still catching up on the thing. Dude. Jayster, Allison is good. Thank you for the sub. I'm just looking at the whole thing. Rip to all the St. Pete music band. Dude, those things made my whole life.
I know. Do you remember the 662, local 662?
Yeah.
Dude,
I remember
That
that.
was
I don't think DBMK would exist.
yeah. Without that
band.
venue, we wouldn't have, because that is
Who's the guy that books there? Who's the guy? What's his name?
Well, no,
Gotta get
they. I thought they owned. I thought it was booked, or at least it was promoted by the record shop.
Well, they ran out of the so there was, for people that don't know, there was a famous record store called Daddy Cool Records that
Which
used to
still
be
is.
right next door. It's still alive, but they've moved locations. There was a record store right next to this venue, and the promotion company ran out of the back of it in their little office. But it wasn't Daddy Cool officially. It was oh my God, was it State Media?
Yeah, State
Something
Media.
like that.
Yep, it was
State
State
Media.
Media.
Yeah, State Media.
Well, it was really cool that they would have like a cool band coming through, and this just goes back to how I guess we're kind of raised. It was really cool. I feel like that if there was a cool band coming through the 662, like Vinyl Theater or something like that, a band like that, they would be like, hey, you want to jump on the show? Like we could use
Local
30
support.
extra tickets sold.
Right.
We're just like,
Right.
yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You know?
And they were cool with that. I mean, I remembered especially when the Orpheum like upgraded and became went out of the brick building and went into the bigger space. It was a necessary like spot. Yeah, Rambi, welcome into the chat. PO, support is huge. Speaking of support, thank you for continuing to subscribe. Fading, love ya. Then, yeah, okay, cool. The commands work. I wanted to make sure that you guys' links for socials and everything were all there. So for anybody who doesn't know DBMK, we're about to dive into music now, I promise. But before we do, what have you guys been doing that isn't music related? Just like lately, picked up any hobbies?
You know what we've been doing? We cook.
Taekwondo.
We-
Okay,
we
never
didn't
mind.
Sorry?
I said Taekwondo, but cooking is cool too.
Oh yeah, you know what we've been doing? It's
Taekwondo.
right here in the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah.
Um,
No, cook.
but I'm
Kyle
so-
better than me.
I'm so tired of just like Colton like beating the crap out of me every day as far as Taekwondo goes. No, no, we've been cooking, and let me just say, we haven't just been like cooking. We've been like cooking, bro. I didn't
Kyle
know
gets
how
into
much
it,
I
man.
love to cook. Like I said, my family wasn't really like a big like a home cooked meal type family. We were, but we weren't. Not a lot of like let me teach you how to cook kind of vibes going on. But my girlfriend is an incredible cook, and I was just like, I need to at least be able to get on some sort of level here. But yeah, I love to cook, and Colton and I cook together sometimes, and it's so much fun. We make
Well, it's so much more
pasta and
fun.
stuff,
I
yeah.
feel like we have a deli that's like right up the road from us, our studio, and we'll like just record forever and then be like, okay, we're so hungry, let's go walk to the deli. We would do that all the time.
Yeah.
Just to get out for a little bit.
Is
But
it Mitchell's or which one?
No, it's Tower Deli.
yeah.
You know
I
Tower
don't want to dox us here, but
Yeah,
yes, it's
Tower's good.
Tower's got a great sandwiches. Like I feel
Yeah.
like it's kind of a sleeper spot too. I don't know why no one talks about
Oh
it.
no, it's great. I remember Reggie would talk about Tower all the time.
It's so good. It's
good
so
stuff,
good.
and there's great people too. They okay, we went in,
Oh, dude.
not to get too off track, but we would go in and they would have our stuff ready for
Yeah,
us.
they start making our order when we walk in the door.
It's like,
They're
let's
like,
go.
"Hey, you want the regular today?" It's so cool. And
I've never had that.
dude, it
anywhere.
feels like a TV show. Like I've always wanted that.
right.
There's two things I've always wanted: a nickname and to be a regular at a place like that. And I have one of the two.
Nickname.
So yeah,
well, okay,
we'll work on your nickname.
we'll workshop some nicknames.
So the things we've been doing besides music is walking to the deli, and now it all ties in. Like we will finish recording or whatever, take a little break, and be like, let's take 15 minutes and
Let's
make
cook a
like
dinner.
a dinner.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we've been doing that, trying to get a lot healthier and better.
Yeah, this year has been there's been a lot of really crazy stuff to talk about this year, but there has been some silver linings, and like we were talking about earlier, like just kind of just growing as people. And also, if this year didn't happen, there would have been if we weren't stuck inside this year, like I just feel like like Colton said, we're so much more healthy now. We're really like taking care of our bodies and stuff better, and it just feels better to be doing that now. So that's kind of we've learned a lot this year too.
Oh, dude, the plant at the beginning of the pandemic behind me right here was dying. and now it's almost on the floor.
I've had to water it. It's
Look
yeah.
at you. That's awesome.
It's amazing, but yeah, I
That's
empathize with
nice
P.
metaphor,
I
actually.
empathize with Pio in the chat who said 15 minutes because
Right.
I definitely
It's
like if I'm doing a slow cooker, I might throw everything in like 15
right,
minutes and then let it cook for hours. But I don't.
It
Yeah,
might be a little
you gotta share some of these secret 15-minute recipes with us at some point.
Well, next stream we'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I can make a
Do your
bechamel.
DBM cooking show.
Yeah, cooking. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Cooking with a K.
Guys, we're gonna be making. Yeah.
It's just you guys in turtlenecks and chef hats making meals in 15
With
minutes.
aprons on.
Next time we got to bring the chef hats for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I know I was talking to you guys about it before, but for the chat, I thought it would have been hilarious had I also remembered to or know like if I owned a great turtleneck like these guys have. If I like was wearing this and then I was like, oh, it's hot, and I took off my hoodie like halfway through the stream and I'm also wearing a turtleneck.
We're all twinning.
Is that
Yeah.
fun? Is that funny, or am I the only one who thinks?
I
it's
think
funny?
that's funny.
I think it's.
I
Funny.
think that's
It would have been good,
Yeah, it
but
would've been
we
great.
we didn't coordinate well enough.
Yeah, it's honestly on me. You guys did a good job. I didn't. So we're gonna get into the music stuff now because that's why we're all here. Besides the pretty hair, but you guys started writing together super young, like 15, right?
Yeah. Well, Colton was 15. I had just turned 8. Well, you were about to turn 16.
I was about to turn
basically.
16. The first tour we ever went on, and I was 15. I couldn't drive. My parents had to drive me to.
And
all of our-
you were 8.
Yeah, I was 8.
Eight.
No, no, I was 18.
I was
just
like,
turned
I was like, holy crap! I was like, I thought you just said you stopped at 8, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
I was 8 years old. I was like, I just started eating solid foods, and I knew what I.
Oh, yeah, I got this Tascam 4-track recorder, and we just started going to town.
Yeah, yeah. So young, yes, very young.
I love it. But so, like, was DBMK the first project for both of you?
Yeah. It took DBMK has taken a couple different forms. It started as another project, but DBMK was always supposed to be, I think, what it is now. Like, this is what DBMK is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. So I guess I was going to like ask how did you guys approach starting a band? Because there might be some people in here who are individuals that like in some ways like doing things by yourself, and we see a lot of solo artists like having a ton of success, right? Like it makes a lot of things easier in a sense, but like how did you guys decide like, okay, we should do this together or as a group, like all of the forms together? Like what was in your mind of like, yeah, I want to do that? Was it because you just liked the idea of a band, or does it like what is it about not
Well-
doing it by yourselves? Because you guys are both super talented. You could do something like you could create music alone, but why do you guys do it together?
Well, there was definitely to kick off this year. There was internally like a big turning point for DBMK, because some people might not know, but DBMK used to be a 4-piece before the 2 of us, and there was 2 other members. We love them dearly. They're like our brothers, and they themselves are brothers. So obviously,
The Trunzos, Jacob
the
and
brothers
Josh.
Trunzo, Jacob and Josh.
Yeah.
There was a turning point where the 2 of them ultimately decided that this wasn't, they were just pursuing other things in their life. And for Colton and I, we like eat, sleep, and breathe this like day in and day out. So there was a moment when they were stepping away from DBMK, and we were kind of just like, okay, well, how do we do this the same way? Or do we even do it the same way? Or what does it look like? And how does this work going forward?
Mhm.
And there was like a moment outside of 210 Jack, the ramen place. Shout out 210 Jack, where Colton and I
Solid
were like
ramen.
walking away. Yeah, great
Oh,
ramen.
yeah.
We were kind of just like, we were walking away from this big meeting that we just had with the band, And ultimately it was like, it kind of put the nail in the coffin about the whole thing. And we kind of,
Just like what's
we looked at each other and it was just like, okay, well, no, neither of us were talking about not doing it. Neither of us were talking about like, this is the end. We were just like, okay, great. Like, let's get, like, we got a lot of work to do. We got our work cut out for us. And it was kind of just like, all right, great. We're just nose to the grindstone. And in many ways, it kind of just, I don't know. It was like I said, this is probably kind of what DBMK was always supposed to be all along. You know,
everything had happened for a reason.
everything happens for
sure.
a reason. Everything's happened for a reason.
And
We
when
learned
you
so
said
much
like,
from that too.
when did you decide to like write or just start making music as a band? I don't know if we ever did. It was just like kind of what it just happened. Like I can't pinpoint a moment where we were like, let's be a band. It was like, I mean, there are reasons why we met and why we started making music together, but there was no, it just happened. Like
literally all of a sudden we were at each other's houses all the time making an album
in both of our bedrooms.
And then we decided to move to Nashville together, and here we are talking to you.
Now we met you.
Yeah.
I love that, and I remembered meeting you guys like pretty early on in that process too.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But I know that some of your crew is actually here, and we mentioned them briefly at the beginning. But where did the fan base name Cult come from? Like, when did that start?
That started a couple of years ago, and that name kind of just came naturally.
I don't think any of us like we were like, you guys are this.
Yeah, well, we hang out with our fans mostly on Twitter, and Twitter's the best. We love Twitter. And I think a couple of years ago I just suggested like, there is a group of people now that come to our shows and support the music that we do and stuff like that. Is it cool to have a name for your fan base in that way? And there was just some talk amongst the fans. And a couple weeks later, the Cult was born, and so now
they're a nice cult. It's a cult with a K.
Yeah, cult with a K.
Nice cult. We're not a mean.
Yeah.
They're not mean.
There's no like Marilyn Manson. There's no like Charles Manson type cult thing.
Nothing weird. You
but,
can come and go as you want. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're not. But yeah, I mean,
I think a lot of cults say that. If we're being real.
Yeah, well, we're doing our best to repeat.
I've watched enough of the documentaries on Netflix. I know what's going on, and the answer is yes. I will join your cult.
Yeah, you never know if you don't try. It'll make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying they're the best and are the best. Always.
Yeah, we love the cult. They're our favorite. Like we don't. I don't know if we really we say this a lot, but nothing will ever truly articulate how much they fuel and empower us on a daily basis too. They're the backbone of like why and how we do everything. I mean, they've funded our music before and our touring and stuff like that, just so that we can keep doing this. And that I'm like, because we, as you know, we do this without a label, without a big team or anything like that. Most of the time, it's just me and Colton and literally 2 or 3 other people just nose to the grindstone every day doing this. So our fans and the people that connect with this music and the stories of the way that they do and push it forward every day means everything to us. And we straight up wouldn't be able to do it without them. So they're the best fans in the world. They really are. I know everyone says that, but they really are.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, and I'm glad that some of them are here supporting you tonight. And one of them asks the question, which, by the way, anybody in the chat, if you ever have a question about anything at any point, please, I know the interview format sort of doesn't lend itself to just like spamming the chat or throwing stuff into the chat, but definitely feel free to participate, comment, share some questions that you have, but also if you have some dirt that you would like to share on these guys, please drop it in the chat. Like Princess J over here is asking Colton to tell the story about how you, and you don't think, I think you thought we were going to get away from it, but we need to know about how you, that story about you learning how to pump gas, because
that's
an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say, ask a story about a person learning how to pump gas. So
I mean, I can give you that.
normally the question itself isn't that interesting,
Yeah.
but also it's super interesting at the same
There you go.
time.
I mean, it says it all. All he needs to know is in it. But it's I can give you the short story. We were on tour. The first tour, I was 15 years old, and when you're 15, you can't drive, obviously, without like a parent, right?
What?
I know, right? But
I lied to my parents, by the way. I told them in America that you could, because I took
Oh,
advantage of the fact that they had immigrated here. So
Oh,
I was
That is funny.
definitely a troublemaker.
That's
Oh
a
my
great.
God.
Oh my god, I love that.
that's so good.
Yeah. I mean, we were on tour. I didn't know how to pump gas, and we were filming like a little
Like a little
tour
documentary.
documentary thing. And yeah, they were like, "Can you pump the gas while we go inside?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." To the gas station. I don't know. This isn't a great story. I just was like, "Hey, can one of you guys like hang back?" Like I haven't done this before, and they're like, "What do you mean?"
You're just
I'm
like,
like, "Yeah, I haven't done this before. Where does it go in? The bottom or
So
the?"
I took his hand like this, and I had him grab the handle.
Yeah.
And we both hit the button together, and then we unscrew the cap, and then we
Alright.
put it in the thing, and that was it.
Yeah, so I learned how to pump gas kind of like on video. There you go.
that. I mean,
That's it.
that's
I guess it's funny.
it's a very funny and sweet story, and I hope that the
Or, you know?
yeah, did they at least teach you it's the cheaper unleaded stuff,
Right,
because
but diesel,
your car doesn't necessarily need all that. Yeah,
Put
there you
diesel
go.
in the thing.
To save some money.
Yeah, not great.
I
Yeah.
love it. Well, I don't know how much time you guys spend on Twitch, but there's a thing called channel points. Do you know what they are?
No.
Okay,
And
so
what-
as you watch streams, you and interact with the streams in certain ways, you're rewarded with channel points. And for whatever reason, when I started my channel, I called them dopeness. So people can redeem their dopeness for certain things. And Baltimore here, a favorite of the fans of this, is they love to redeem for yeehaws, which means that everyone who's participating in the stream has to give their best yeehaw. And we're going to interrupt the stream to do that now. So I'll start if you'd like, or I can finish it. I'll just start.
You can start.
Okay, ready? This is for you, Wally. Yeehaw!
Kyle, can we do ours together? Or whatever.
No, you guys could do yours together if you'd like to harmonize, but if you're not gonna harmonize, then you can't do it.
We're not gonna
Oh
harmonize.
yeah, no, let's harmonize. Let's harmonize.
I'm not harmonizing.
Oh, come on. We worked on this the other day. Come on.
You guys
Alright.
worked on yeehaws the other day. You knew this.
Alright, that's over.
It's over. There you go.
That's it.
This is. Imagine how I feel when somebody pulls a reverse redemption while I'm trying to clutch in Apex Legends. It's a nightmare.
Oh my god.
And Fading loves to do it. So
I'm glad we're not playing games right now because you would probably destroy us. There you go, Wally World, or
I would-
whatever your name was.
I would love to know.
it's now Wally World.
Baltimore. Wally World.
Baltimore? That's so good.
I'm catching up on the thing. They're calling me a savage. I told my mom, and she, definitely didn't let my younger sister do it, and she was pissed about that. So they knew better after that. It only lasted for like a couple months before they figured it out. But I went to Taco Bell a lot in 2 months. I'll tell you what.
What else do you do? What else do you do though in high school? Like that's what you
Yeah.
that's where you go. Yeah.
That's
By
a
the
good.
way,
Sorry, go ahead.
I do. Speaking of yeehaws, I do a bit on. Well, it's not a bit. My alter ego, Country Kyle, comes out on TikTok Live. Just so you know. So the yeehaw thing's really not a stretch for me.
It is for me. I don't,
Well, I'm
All
glad
right.
we could pull you out of your comfort zone for a little bit, Colton. But to be fair, Fading did say, wondered why people don't teach kids how to pump gas in driver's ed. That's a good point. They should.
it's true. There's a lot of things you need to learn before you get behind the wheel,
Mhm.
besides just driving,
Mhm.
right? What if you get a flat tire?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I
I never
still
got
don't
one.
even know what to do about that.
Knock
yeah.
on damn wood.
Dude,
You
yeah,
like our banner, by the way?
Yeah.
yeah, I do like it. It's familiar. I don't know where I've seen that formation of letters in the past, but I've seen it.
Right, right. I just, yeah.
It's funny. Princess is saying you need to give more channel points. Princess, you can blame Fading Ink for how many times she redeems channel points. I have to combat it somehow, and
Oh my
it's people like Fading Ink who make it more difficult for you. So you should take it up with the mods in the chat.
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
But I'm looking. People are complimenting your yeehaws, country DBMK.
Yeah.
I think they want you to join in on that, Colton, more often.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
Are they're asking if you're singing on stream today? No, Princess J, we're talking. We're getting deep into our feelings with DBMK today. There's not going to be any singing. However, we are going to be sharing a music video. It's one that's already out that you've already seen. So I'm sorry for that. Maybe another time on another Hell Yes thing, you guys could like just give a little sneak preview to some.
Hey, I mean,
Sure, yeah,
we got one
that.
coming soon. So
We do have one coming soon.
There you go.
That's all we'll say.
I dig it. Somebody said that the logo reminds them of swimmers. Do you know that band?
Yeah,
I do know
yeah.
swimmers. Yeah.
They're cool.
Dude, that band. There's some cool songs in there. But all right, you guys actually already answered my next question. So moving right along, pandemic made a lot of collaboration just like move to remote. And there's actually, you guys mentioned there was a time when you guys were apart, not only during the pandemic, but before that, you guys were like in different states for a year, right?
Oh yeah, we were. Was that a year?
Yeah, I guess
Was
it
it a year?
was. It was
Holy
about
crap.
a year.
Didn't feel like a
Probably
year.
like 10
Facts.
months to a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyle moved up here before I was able to because I was in high school. And yeah, I mean,
No,
yeah,
I
I
think it
don't
was quite a year.
yeah, whatever. It was too long to
Yeah,
be
it was-
apart from your bandmate.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the question?
Well, so the question was, if you didn't know what it was, it's because I didn't answer yet. Other than asking if it's true that
Okay.
you guys were apart for a year. Now that we've figured that part out, my
Yes.
question was, so that you guys people had to start collaborating remotely, but you guys were doing that for a little bit before the pandemic started. So
Yeah.
did you guys kind of feel more prepared, like as prepared as you kind of could be to be collaborating in this environment? Like, and did that
Good question.
help, or like, I'm just curious, like how the process changed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we really see. So what I was doing when Kyle was up in Nashville is I would actually try to find the cheapest flight I could and come up and stay on his couch, the couch we're sitting on, for
Yeah, this guy.
like weeks at a time. I finished out my high school. I graduated high school online. I finished my last year online. I did Florida Virtual. Was that around when you were in?
Maybe.
Yes, it was, but my parents don't believe in the internet, so it would have never worked.
Right.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know if my parents do either, but I did my last year online, so it gave me some flexibility for us to tour,
Yeah.
and then for me to come up and record. But I don't know if we felt very. It didn't work too well if we were doing stuff remote. Like we would send project files and stuff back and forth, but all this stuff really came together when we were in the room together, and I
Yeah.
think that kind of shows how well we do with collaborating apart. Like
Yeah.
I love to be in the room with people.
That's
And
just kind of how we've always done it, though.
the energy in the room really sparks something great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's tough. It's been tough. I don't know if it's like prepared us for the pandemic times or anything.
I still don't even know how like Twitch, or not even Twitch, but
Zoom.
how like Zoom.
Yeah.
Like Zoom is so.
We'll be on Zoom
complicated.
meetings and Kyle's 5 minutes late. He's like, it's up. I don't know.
I had
It's
to update. I don't
updating."
know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. But we're talking about doing some like Zoom sessions and stuff like that with other writers and everything now.
Producers.
And I'm
stuff.
kind of like, oh my god, because I'm like, how does that go? How does that even?
Especially if it's like a big like producer, a big writer.
Right.
You're just like, Oh, you're. I can't hear you.
Yeah. Wait.
Like,
and the
what do you do?
I can't hear the track. It's like.
Could you turn?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what'd you say? Yeah, like I'm not looking forward to that.
Right.
But
But everyone's doing it, so we can't be like, no, we're not gonna do it because we like to write in the room. You know what I mean? So.
Man, I mean it's kind of funny because in my head I'm like, oh, like maybe these guys like have been collaborating like remotely, but it sounds like it's kind of going to be like a pretty new experience for you guys.
Yes, absolutely has. Because like Colton said, like we were, I mean, the internet helped us like collaborate. I mean, there was a period of time when either before that too, and I was living in Boston and Colton was still living in Florida. We were sending stuff back and forth to each other all the time, and even like, and we've changed too in that we're both doing a lot of the production and a lot of the writing equally now.
Just like demo production.
Yeah. But like when we first got together, it was more one person or the other doing like the handling those tasks back and forth. But now we're doing a lot of stuff collaboratively, and everything is a collaboration. So that has put more emphasis on being in the room.
Yeah.
And put more strain on how we'll use technology going forward to collaborate if and when we're apart from each other. We're kind of like glued at the hip though. So long as we're in the same place, we're glued at the hip. So it's more so collaborating with other people outside of DBMK that we're like, right.
Well, at least that'll be nice. That I mean, it's cool that you guys are trying to do that, and we're gonna be, because you guys most recently worked with, I'm hoping I say their name right, but Dean Reed and Kieran Menzies, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who are on the stream that don't know who those people are, I mean the credits of stuff that they work on, it's like everything from like Lana Del Rey to FKA Twigs to Miguel, and I mean I guess for you guys who are so like tight knit, like what made you pick them? Like what makes you say yes to a potential collaborator?
That's funny because really how that came out of. Oh man, that's a good question. We were going out to Los Angeles and just trying to figure out who we could just working with new people, expanding our network and stuff. And I think the day before we flew out there, one of our managers, Kyle, called us and was like, Dean and Kieran, go look up their credits. They have like an opening. They had a cancellation for one of their artists that was coming in, and they heard your stuff from a connection, and they really want to get in the room with you. And we were just like, what?
They want to get in the room with us?
Yeah, I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, he pitched it like they're like dying to work.
They want to be our friends?
They want to be friends with us?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so
let me think about this for a second.
Right, should we do it?
Yeah.
Well, I think we kind of went into it not really knowing what to expect at all.
Yeah.
And they were just, the two of them they're like a team. They are the nicest guys. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if we really gave gave ourselves the chance to say like yes or no.
Yeah, we
or
really
like
didn't do much
decide.
thinking.
We were like, okay, that's where we'll go. Send us the address. But it was our first session outside of like in LA, like outside of Nashville or Tampa or whatever.
It definitely felt like
spooky.
It definitely felt like, oh, this is uncharted territory as far as things that we've done in the actual music making process so far.
And what did you guys end up doing together when you got there?
We ended up we went through, at that point we had picked all of the music that was going to end up on Jump in the Dark. We ended up writing over like 50 songs, and we narrowed it down to just those 6 that you hear on the record now.
But we had demos for a bunch of songs, and the songs that we were thinking like these are the ones we want to pursue like a lot of production for the record. So we kind of played them just like we sat down and played them a bunch of stuff. And then they really liked our song Haunted House. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as they heard it, they were like, ooh, like, is there a producer on this yet? Or like, have you guys finished it? I think we had the chorus and the second verse.
Yeah, it wasn't quite finished yet.
It was a very unfinished demo, but they were he was like, "Do you have that?" He just spun around in his chair. He's like, "Do you have that project file?" And we
Yeah.
are like, "Yeah."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Send it to me. Like, let's get started on this one." Before like that was the third one we played them, and they were just super pumped
Yeah.
to work on it. So we got their help on production. They mixed it. They helped us write some of the chorus and the second verse. Just all around great people, great
Yeah,
collaborators.
great
They still
collaborators.
check in with us all the time. Just
Yeah.
like, dude, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Nice, great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really well.
it seems like you guys had a bunch of great people, and I didn't realize Ruslan was involved with. I heard you had a
Yes.
girlfriend, and I'm obsessed with that dude. He's awesome.
He's so cool. He's so
Coolest
cool.
guy.
Great guy. Funny story actually. So Kyle, when we had dinner at Barcelona, the
Yeah.
next night we had dinner. I forgot that we had also made dinner plans at the same restaurant with Ruslan and his wife. Yeah, I don't know if you guys had
Oh,
met
nice.
at that point, but
No, I don't think we had.
he's a great dude. But
He's so great.
welcome in, Tan Benz. I'm glad you're here. So I wanted
Welcome.
to talk about this EP that you guys had made, like, because Kyle, back in like interviews that you'd done in like 2017, you were talking about how like you were a poet before being a songwriter necessarily, and a lot of inspiration for things that you would write came from like things that other people would say. And I'm just curious, like, as you guys have gotten older, you guys have been friends for so long, you guys have been in the same band for the this entire time. Um, Besides now being open to more collaborators, like how have your personal like approaches to writing songs changed? And you guys could answer separately or at the same time in harmony, whatever you want to do.
In harmony. You will answer in harmony. Well, that's a great question. That's been at like the forefront of our minds recently as we're finishing now Jump in the Dark and kind of moving on to newer stuff. We are I got really into, okay, I'm going to be a producer now a couple of years ago. I'm going to be like, I want to make songs like in the box. I want to make computer music. And this kind of was born out of necessity as I just got really, I was a poet and then a songwriter. And then I just wanted to be efficient. And in many ways, we were just making a lot of beats and writing to beats all the time and just making beats all the time, just working on musical landscapes like all the time. So now we're really pushing ourselves to focus more on the song, because obviously we focus on the song, but we're focusing on
That being the main focus.
the main focus. We're focusing on what's being said, because I think right off the bat, the two of us have a lot to say musically, but what is actually being articulated verbally is more of a process for us, because I think we're both trying to be really intentional and sincere in what we're saying. The whole thing with DBMK is born out of this necessity to do it, like everyone else is. But we're really just focusing on the song itself. So right now, I haven't opened up any DBMK session files on my computer in a number of weeks now, and I've just been sitting. I got a couple of months ago, I got a real piano, which is something that I wanted my whole life. My mom and I
It's in
grew
the
up.
other room.
Yeah, my mom and I grew up in apartment buildings. That was just not a question, not a thing. And I didn't really have any lessons or anything like that until I kind of got into high school. I went to this arts program and stuff like that. It's the first time I got to actually touch and play instruments and stuff. And now I've just been sitting at this piano cranking out songs every day, and we've been focusing more on that
Yeah.
first before writing to a beat, sort of like top line style. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that. I feel like we just have a lot more to say that sometimes gets
Drowned out by some
drowned out and overlooked because of where our brains have naturally gone to like okay, we're going to
Right, and there was
produce
kind
on
of a
top of this
yeah,
first.
there was kind of a point too, like with Haunted House, we had like done a fully produced demo. We just knew that we needed to refine some places, and we were like, okay, when we go to a producer, they'll be able to fix it for us, not or just make it better, you know, or change some stuff up, or be like the person that's like, move this here, move that there. But when we got in the room with Dean and Ruslan, or Dean and Kieran,
and in Ruslan too, this happened as well.
and yeah, it's like they're like, well, what do you want us to do, like production wise? We're like, oh, I thought that's your job. Like, figure that out. It's what it felt like.
And we very much were just like
here, like make this better.
Fix this. I don't know.
Instead of like collaborating with them in the production. And so it was almost like, I mean, the way I think about it now is like, hey, read this book and then tell me how you would rewrite it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's tough for certain producers to be like, oh, let me switch up this thing you already made.
Where do I fit? There's no space for me to actually do anything.
So working on the song, like getting the song down, like there's the whole thing of like, if you can't strip a song down to a piano or a guitar and it's not just as good, then it's not a good song. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what we're working on right now. That's kind of how we shifted in the last year or so, I feel like, in our songwriting process.
Because we're writing all the time. We write like every day, and it's always shifting and changing here and there. But for right now,
song comes first.
Yeah, songs, just songs.
No, I mean, and I love that. I feel like that's when people, I think, talk about like artists maturing and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I think there are a lot of times talking about an artist's process, right? And like you have to kind of go. Sometimes you kind of have to go through it and try some stuff and like not be afraid to fail, to be able to find the things that work really well for you, you know, and like recognize that like you're never going to get to like the perfect version of the song. You know,
Right.
there's always going to be something you hear after the fact that makes it, that could, you know, in your mind make it better or whatever. But like, at what point do you start sacrificing sincerity for the sake of trying to like achieve this unrealistic thing that like people, you know, are going to interpret in their own way anyways, right? Like, because once you're done with it, it's not only yours anymore. So it's
Right.
I guess I wanted to like talk, and you guys kind of already gave a little bit of insight, but like, could you talk about, because now that you're focusing on the song more, can you talk about some of the songs on the EP and how those were made? Like maybe let's choose I Heard You Had a Girlfriend, because that's my personal favorite off of the EP, and like walk me through concept to completion for that song.
That song started in the middle of the night. I just kind of sat, and this is the thing. I just sat down, and I just started making that. I started making like a dance track, you know, like this very like club thing. And I remember sending that to Colton with the kind of the verse that I started writing over it. And
I think it was the first verse that popped my head out.
That whole thing. And man, this feels like, so I'm digging like really.
This is therapy right here. I like it.
Yeah, I sent that to Colton, and we were both on board with it. And
well, he sent it to me. I was on a drive. I was driving home from somewhere. I remember, you know, the tunnel that the trombone guy plays under. I was going under that tunnel over in Woodbine.
Shout out trombone guy, by the way.
Do you know? Have you heard about the trombone guy?
No, but I gotta go drive by Woodbine.
Yeah, go check it out.
I guess so. Yeah. But like trains go over this like tunnel bridge thing, and I was just like, I kept replaying it over and over, like the 30-second little snippet. And I think I called you or something. And I was just like, let's work on this. It's cool. And it's funny because it's like really late in the game where all the other songs were pretty much done.
Yeah.
I think that was the last song that had to get done was Balcony Projector.
Yeah, it's the last one we finished.
I Heard You Had a Girlfriend.
So it was
somebody shouted out Balcony Projector.
I saw that, and that was the name of the demo for a really long time, and then we switched it to I Heard You Had a Girlfriend.
Yeah. The concept started as this.
Oh wait, somebody said that the tunnel in Nolansville. Yes, that's
Yes, on Nolansville.
I lived in.
Yes, on Nolansville.
That's right where I lived.
Yeah.
I used to live over there. Yeah.
It started as this replaying of a memory. The songwriting was a replaying of a memory, and it was called Balcony Projector because it was about a moment that happened to be on a balcony, and I was imagining the combination of that moment and a dream that I had like projected on all of the it was like a balcony of a high-rise building, and it was like projected on all the buildings like some like crazy Super Bowl commercial or something like that. And I was seeing it was like a very much this eye-opening moment that happened to me. And it's kind of silly now I'm explaining this, and then we changed it to I Heard You Had a Girlfriend, which seems kind
Which
of
is like the commercial.
it seems
name.
kind of like this very reduced, boiled down version of what I'm explaining, but it started. That's what the songwriting. That was the concept of this.
You can thank Dean and Ruslan for that too.
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
no, I don't call it balcony. Call it not in a mean way or
Yeah.
anything. They're like, why are you calling it that? Call it I Heard You Had a Girlfriend.
And where in the song does it ever say
Balcony projector?
So yeah, but yeah, it just started as this club thing, and then we just kept sort of playing with the.
I think every time we worked on it, there was like a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those ones that you hear people say like, we finished it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, this was
It's
not
like,
that.
no, we kept going back to it, like adding little bits and pieces, like adding the first half of the second verse, and then we finished the chorus another day, and it was just like, I think that's what made it so special, is that we were able to always take a step back from it and be like, all right, where is it at now, and what little thing could we add to it to make it cool?
But because we make music, but because we have so much to say musically, I think that's why there is so many weird little things in the arrangement, like the random acoustic guitar passage that happens before the first chorus, that if you're pitching that, you're, as an A&R person, if you're pitching that, you're like, what is that? Like, that doesn't, that's not.
Yeah, but that's identity to me. Like there's a personality and
yeah, and
you guys
thank
did.
you. But it's hardly commercial, anyways. But that's the thing, is we had so many. We really wanted to articulate how this vision like played out cinematically in our minds too, and that's where there's like literally there's sounds of the swamp that I grew up at. In that section during the acoustic guitar passage and stuff, and like crickets.
Let's play that section real quick to sort of show people what you're talking about.
That's
This area, right?
Yeah. Right.
It's the pre-chorus.
Yeah, the right before the very first chorus.
Oh, okay.
Through traffic, but I never look back. What's the point? I heard
There's like a bus honking in there and stuff like that. It just
very little,
because it was like a rush of. It's like a person's life like flashing before their eyes. It's all the places they grew up at. It's all the things that.
and like the picture.
Yeah, it's the projection.
Like,
it's the
yeah, you
projection.
see it all.
Yeah. Someone's saying in the chat, Shrek. Yeah, it was like Shrek. Yeah,
It's
like-
exactly like Shrek.
Just like Shrek. Somebody.
I mean, Green. There's a lot
Like,
of.
right. This is my.
Are we starting a conspiracy theory here where Kyle and Colton, you guys are actually Shrek, and you guys somehow like separated Shrek?
This is not how we wanted this to get.
We're not gonna.
This
Hey
is
man, we
not
gotta
how
go.
We cannot confirm nor deny. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that song took a very long time to flesh out. It had a lot of life cycles. There was a lot of different arrangements that we played with.
And then we were able to bring it. We actually got help from Dean and Kieran and Ruslan on that one, which was really fun.
Huge team on that song.
Ruslan, he loved it, and we had a great time working on that song with him as well.
Yeah, well, and it's funny that you guys said it's not like super commercial. Like to me, that's like one of the most commercial like record. Like that feels like a big song on the record personally. And I know that some other A&R people probably have given like that this different feedback or whatever, but like I'll go down with the ship of my opinion, man, and say that I think that
Yeah,
that song
thank you.
is
Right on.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
certified
Yeah, I
jam.
mean, we always kept telling people when we were pitching the song, it's like, just wait for the chorus, just wait for the chorus, just wait for that. I promise you, it'll all make sense. Just wait for the chorus.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love it. But okay, let's keep about the just your guys' process and your guys' personalities. Like, um, we mentioned a little bit about, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning, where it was the challenges of like, or like the reasons why you guys wanted to work together. But can you guys talk about just like the task that I think we all take for granted, which is like making decisions and just how you guys tackle your differences to just like move things forward? Because I feel like being two people, one says yes, one says no, like who's the referee in that situation? Like how do you guys like
I'll tell you what,
compromise?
it's easier with 2 people than it is with 4.
Yeah.
I'll just put that out. Yeah, I don't know. We disagree on few things, but when we do, I don't know if either of us, but like we'll never be not down to try something. I'll say that.
we're generally stay open to everything, and even with each other.
What is
too.
the song right now that's giving us? Is it
What are you talking about?
Club Cadet? Whatever. Every time we open that, there's something that he is a demo working on right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't listen to that part. And we just like are just very.
I think
I don't know who the referee is though.
But I think, okay, so here, you want to know what it is? I think, dude, this guy right here, this is my best friend in the whole world. I think that we're able to be, even if it's a creative decision or if it's some sort of like business or management decision or something like that, I think each time, if there's any sort of disagreements or rub between the two of us, one of us is able to be like, okay, well, let's step back. If we do that, like this is why I'm saying this, because it might be this, and this is why this. Like we're good listeners, I guess, to each other. We're just good friends, and we're good like.
Well, it works out well. It's kind of like the brothers thing too,
yeah.
where it's like you get mad at each other, and then you're just like,
I
just thought this is distracting the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the whole brothers thing where you fight for, and then in 10 minutes you're like, you want to go to the deli? Like,
but I
kind
can't.
of hungry.
But you
like
say
we're
that,
not.
I can't remember the last time. We've never fought.
Like we fought.
We've never fought. We've literally never fought.
We've disagreed. It's not like a husband and wife right now. We have disagreements. But we work it out. I don't know. It's hard to answer because I don't know if we really had a huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can remember one time where I was just super. I got super insecure about the track list that we had for the EP. I remember texting Kyle and just being like, man, I feel like there are better songs. Like it wasn't a disagreement. I don't know if you remember this. It was just like over text. But I was like, someone said, is this the Chainsmokers?
The Chainsmokers, they would never dare wear such stylish turtlenecks. So let's get that straight.
Right.
They couldn't even come close.
But I don't know. Like
you were saying about.
I was saying about how I was just like, I don't think this is the right track list to go with. And it's just like when you have months until a release and you're just like planning things out, you like you're gonna have those thoughts, of just like, was that the right song?
I actually don't remember this. That
I remember it, but I just remember you being like, no.
What?
Like, no, not in a bad way, but just being like, we need to be confident in this. And what I'm saying is if I'm freaking out about something, it's easy for Kyle to just be like, hey, like you said, let's take a step back. Let's figure out why we're feeling like this and let's figure it out.
Because a lot of times
there's no band fights over here,
You know what? That's a good point. A lot of times what it is too is just generally it's a lot of like security stuff and confidence stuff and decisions that we are making and the moves that we're making. So a lot of times it's like, man, I don't know if this is the right move or if this is what we should be doing. or even if this is the right way we caption a post, or if this is the kind of language we want to have and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But we're really good at just being like, no, dude, like don't overthink it. It's okay. Like we know what we're doing, you know. Yeah. So that's what it is.
No, I love that, and I mean, I think a lot of times people think about collaboration as this, like the goal is to just agree, right? Like, and if you're unable to agree with somebody, then you're not a great collaborator. But in fact, it's the opposite. It's your ability to disagree and to explain why you feel the way that you do. And it's just it's basic, just like communication. And we're not all born with that skill. You have to hone it as you get older. You're certainly not taught it perfectly by anybody growing up, especially in the age of the internet. And I think it's an asset for you guys to be able to disagree and to challenge each other, to take a step back and be like, okay, well, let's explore why you feel that way. And it gives you an opportunity to go a different direction. And like when a lot of people are like, oh, when you put that barrier up, you're like, oh, then we're clearly not a good fit and the song doesn't make sense this way. When in fact, you're really asking like, well, could this be different and could it be better if it was, or something? And like being able to ask those questions, I think, is huge. And I think a cool thing, Pio, thanks for reminding me to hydrate. If you guys have water over there, feel free to hydrate as well.
Heck yeah.
But speaking of your guys' decision making, I think a cool thing that I feel like you guys seem to just always be on the same page about, as evidenced by the turtlenecks, which are I feel like your guys' co-stars on the show tonight, is your guys' like I've always been immediately drawn to the visuals that you guys bring. We even decorated the background tonight in your slime green. That is the exact hex color. Yeah, by the way, he gave I got it from Kyle. You gave it away. I was going to try to impress Colton, Kyle, but it's
I'm very impressed. Looking at it right here. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Looking at it right here.
But with how creative you guys are, or how visual you guys are, do you mind if we kind of share with some of the people on here who might not be super familiar with you guys, like just one of your music videos and like show an example of it? So we're gonna listen and watch Thin, guys. This is like the short equivalent of like when the teacher pulled like. Well, I guess in my day where they rolled the TV into the classroom. So if you want to take a nap or text or take a little break, now's the time to do it. But honestly, you'd be missing out on some really on a really dope visual. So if you guys look on Twitch, you'll be able to actually see like what we're
awesome.
Watching. But we're gonna listen and watch Thin.
Always talking loud, what do you talk about? I'm never on your level as you're screaming. I wanna break these habits, I cut them one more time. Maybe too polite, yeah. Now you say, don't you dare, I know you care. I see the lack of color in the clothes you wear. Don't you dare, take another bite. I see the proof of vision in your appetite. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm forever bored. 5, 6, 7, 8. I pretend that I feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm still at your door. 5, 6, 7, 8. I pretend that I feel. I wanna know what it's like just to feel alright. I put my hand on my heart to show you I can't lie. This is the part where I might slide into the kitchen and say, oh my God, am I so stuck in my ways? I don't wanna waste no time. Waiting on the city like 1, 2, 3. Thought I moved back, tryna get skinny and I keep you on the back of my mind. Bounce right back this time, cutting me down like calories. I'll let my hands decide, yeah, but you're on my mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm forever bored. 5, 6, 7, 8. I pretend that I feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm still at your door. 5, 6, 7, 8. I pretend that I feel. I wanna know what it's like just to feel alright. I stuck in my ways.
Yo.
So that's us.
Oh my God, Chris, your comment is so
Oh my,
funny.
oh my guys, you guys are here. Wow, what a coincidence.
Here we are.
Oh yeah.
Man.
That's me texting you asking for you guys to come on the show, and Colton in the background being like, tell him
Oh,
share.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Sure. Oh my
No,
gosh,
but
dude, we had
that's
that was such a fun video.
Yeah,
to
that was so
film.
good.
Did you guys ever figure out what comes after 8? The fans.
Oh.
Man. Well,
It's
if anybody
not-
in here wants to share, it's definitely not 10.
No,
It might
it's
not
not
be 10.
11, and 7 comes before that, so it's not that.
Oh man.
But no, for real. I mean, and I've gotten the pleasure of getting to like hang out with Phil a bit as well.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like, was it intentional for you guys from the start to kind of have like the visuals all be like, because if you watch like everything, like even from the earlier days, like everything feels very cohesive, even though it's evolving into like different eras and stuff. Um, where did this video come from in particular?
Well, crazy story about these videos actually. Well, it's not that crazy, but we filmed 6 music videos, some more involved than others, but we filmed 6 videos for the 6 songs on this EP all in one day. It was the longest day I think we've probably ever done.
Well, because the whole thing was that we rented, us and then a buddy named John Marzola. I don't know if you know him. He's a video guy in here, amazing in Nashville.
Yeah, he's a director of photography.
DP. Yeah, that's what it is. I was trying to think of it. We rented a steady, or what was the camera?
We got a bunch of gear rentals from a production rental house for that one day. And we were like, oh my God, we literally only have enough money to do all these videos.
We can't do 6 days of this rental.
Yeah.
Like, and so basically, like, we got together with Phil and our buddy John, and we were just like, all right, let's figure out some ways that we can film like decent looking video, like really good looking videos, like in one day. Like, let's just figure this out. So we ended up renting the camera and doing it all in one day. This, where we did Thin, was the second one of the day.
Yeah, and that video actually only took like 2.5 hours.
We only had the studio rental that you see there. We only had the studio rental for like
3 hours, I think.
2 or 3 hours, and that includes getting all of our stuff in and getting all of our stuff out.
Yeah, and
so you only have a little bit of time to like film stuff. So I think we just ran through the song like 4 or 5 times and just put on different outfits. We were just like, we set up this green screen behind us, and we were just like run and gun. Like, let's just do this. Yeah. And I'm so happy with how that came out. Phil crushed it on the edit. It was, yeah.
Let me just say too, without Phil is very much like the other member of DBMK, and that way too. He's been with us since the start, helping the visuals and the brand, and basically the way that DBMK looks and feels is very much Phil's brainchild there. And he is, I mean, he's he's so talented.
Not to mention that's how Kyle and I met.
Literally, yeah.
Phil.
So DBMK wouldn't exist. Not only it wouldn't exist at all, but it wouldn't exist the way that it does without Phil. So shout out
to him if he's here.
We love you so much.
I don't know if he's here. He's probably directing something.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably directing a crazy.
Someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Someone somewhere.
So at what point because of having somebody like Phil, and that, I mean, I feel like that's like a really awesome thing to have. Not every artist, not every band has that, especially like from an early days. So, I mean, because you have that though, clearly the visuals like play a role in the process overall. Like, at what point are you thinking about visuals? Like you were saying, now you're like starting with the song. Like, when do you think visuals come into play for you guys?
Yeah, well,
that's what I was gonna say.
I think for us, a lot of times when we start something, it's got to have an identity. It's got to have it just has to have a thing. So a lot of times our process is understanding what the song looks like and how it like what it's wearing and that kind of that kind of thing.
I think
So-
yeah, a lot of it is looking at, even though we're saying like starting with the song first, like I think we're just always trying to make something and always trying to like give identity to stuff. So
we're just
like,
really visual in that sense too in our process.
well, it's like, what colors does this represent? Like what would the music video look like? And even like what we do when we play this live, or
Right.
like we do a thing. And we just kind of realized we do the same thing, and we shared it to each other. But like when we're writing a song and the chorus, the festival MBT, it's a 97X festival.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
We got the opportunity to play it. We actually played before Paramore and stuff. There was just a ton of really, really cool people there. And I always picture us on that stage.
The main
And
stage.
it's like, could everybody be singing it? Like, can I see everybody sing this song? Or like the Orpheum or State Theater, just like a packed show. Would this do well in front of people? So, yeah, the stuff, I don't know. It's always evolving.
A lot of our process is inherently visual, from the way that we write lyrics to the way that the production ends up working out. A lot of what we do now is like, when we are playing arenas, will this still hold up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say when, because
It'll happen one day.
2021, baby. But
When concerts come back and we can all safely be there, let's
We'll safely be
clear
hopefully
about
playing.
that,
Yeah.
all in bubbles,
Right.
right.
I hope
right,
not.
right.
like Flaming Lip style. So now I want to get into sort of like more of the business side of the creative process, because I feel like, especially in 2021, there's more like, in one sense, it's a great thing that you don't have to sign a record deal to reach an audience. You don't have to do any of these things. Like, there's so many ways that you can reach people these days. And then it's a big challenge for artists. Is like, how do I do that? And how do I do that effectively in a way that like doesn't completely take away from me doing that? Sometimes the answer is bringing on a team, but that's not usually the first thing that happens. Team builds, right? And we'll talk about team in a little bit. But when does marketing enter your guys' minds? Sort of similar to the visual side of things, like, and is it a similar vibe to you guys, or do you feel like there's a different sort of mentality that you guys take when you're like, when you start talking about like how a song and a visual is going to come out?
I would argue that it definitely, that's like a different mindset that we get into, is like branding and marketing and everything like that.
You remember when we would be talking about that stuff and we're like, or talking about business stuff, you're like, no,
yeah.
I want to make music today. I don't.
Yeah,
It's a really like
seriously.
brain switch. It's
Yeah.
like, you have to be creating music, and then you got to put on your analytical brain
Yeah.
when it comes to like, how do we market it?
And how do we make everything a moment, and how do we make everything feel
We'll
really
be talking
important?
about it, and it's like, no business today. We're
Yeah,
just making
yeah.
music.
Or
Yeah.
one or the other. That's typically how we like to do things. Or we split up the day. Like if we're gonna be with each other all day, the first half of the day we get all the business done, and then we can just like go for a walk and then come back, and we'll be able to make music. But that is definitely, that's when we have, that is not really a part of the creative process so much. That's definitely when, at least for Jump in the Dark, because this is the first time we've done like we've had like actual like plans to market things, other than just like touring and posting about them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's very much like, okay, this is the body of work. This is what we're going to roll it out. This is what everything means to us. This is the story that we're trying to tell. Because marketing, I think good marketing is just storytelling, and that's like kind of like the marketing like slogan that everyone says, but it's so true, because what we're selling music, we're selling art, we're selling stories. So the best marketing for music doesn't feel like marketing, you know?
Right.
So we just kind of talk a lot about how we want things to be received. And obviously you can't always predict that to a fault, but we just want to really get everybody on board with what exactly is the message we're trying to send with each release.
And sending the right message, because I think
Yeah.
too many times there's artists that send the wrong message in their marketing, or
Mhm.
not the wrong message, but just not the message that they want to convey to
Right,
people.
right.
And you can kind of see it. It's just like, oh, you didn't try very hard with like trying to get people to listen to your song. You're just
Mhm.
like, you know, not to,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think being intentional is something that is really not just like promoting one of your Instagram posts and
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
Facebook says if I spend $5, 25,000 people will see it. Okay, it's like no, you there got to be some thought put into it.
And that's another thing too, is we're in really the biggest thing that we're focused on right now is just building fans. We're not really interested in like, I mean, we're really not interested in anything else. We just want to get as many people and as many kids that are, as many people that connect to this music on board as possible. And
Yeah,
because we would honestly be doing this if, I mean, we've said this to you before, we would like, we want to make this like it is our lives. We want to do this like to make a living, but also we would do this if no one was watching or not, you know?
like I said earlier, it's the only thing we're good at.
Yeah. So when it comes to marketing,
It's
we're
not
really
basketball.
exactly,
Not basketball,
exactly.
thank God.
But we're just focused on the fans. We're focused on just making those relationships with people and
figuring out how to do that through marketing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So a lot of that, like the other day, our brand new song City just came out. This isn't even like a marketing thing, but City is about growing up always wanting to be included in something, but never really feeling that. So we spent the entire day just like Zoom meeting all of our fans for like 6-7 hours straight. And through that, like people posted about it and people shared the song and people were like, oh my God, there is a moment happening about the song. But honestly, we just wanted to hang out with people because our favorite thing about touring, which we couldn't do today, but couldn't do this year, is
Going to the merch table.
Going to the
meeting
merch
people.
table and hanging out with our fans and seeing the people that stand behind the music. And
Right. You just have to like, I don't know. And marketing too is like when you're at the shows, you know, like talking to people, making relationships, not just going and sitting in the green room and drinking your PBR
right.
provided to you by the venue, but you're just, you know, meeting people and being like, thank you so much for coming. That's marketing, but it's like, it's just necessary and fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways.
No, I love that. And I mean, I guess you said that you guys mainly talk to your fans on Twitter, but I was recently in your Discord and I had seen some people like in like like engaging in some pretty like deep conversation around the release as well. Like what other places do you see your fans sort of like talking to each other and talking to you quite a bit that like that you also like enjoy participating in?
It's a lot
Discord's
on
been
Discord.
cool.
Discord's really cool.
We started that like right when quarantine started. Our manager Kyle was like, "Hey, let's try to figure out how to do a Discord to where because Discord's much different than I didn't know anything about it like when we first started it, but we had some really cool people help us out. We kind of put out a call for help. We were just like, who knows how to work Discord?
It's crazy.
It's
how much
really
you can
hard to
program
do.
and set up. It's insane. I had no idea about that either. I've been involved in like basically just being a part of Discords and stuff like that for like other stuff, but the actual like setting one up and everything like that is just crazy. So
we had like 9 or 10
or
10 people that like moderate it, and yeah, they set the whole thing up. They were talking with us and like our manager and stuff, and it was just like let's figure out how to make this like a community for people.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like put it out to everybody, and it has like I think it's got like 200 people in there or something. It's really cool.
Yeah.
To see them all just chat and talk, and we'll pop in there and hang out.
Right.
It's fun.
Right.
So that's been cool.
But another one is, I mean, of course, this year the rise of TikTok. But we really we were kind of hesitant to think about TikTok at first. We were like, oh yeah, this will okay, yeah, we'll see how this goes. But obviously here we are, and TikTok is what it is. But we love TikTok. We go live on TikTok all the time, and we just play songs and hang out with people.
I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok.
Yeah, obviously it's hard to like be on TikTok for like literally
I'm on it too much.
If I were to open TikTok right now and I were alone, and it doesn't matter what bodily position I'm in as I start this, but I open up TikTok, I'll be stuck there like this for 45 minutes, just scrolling through TikTok.
I don't know if you're addicted to it, but wow.
But it doesn't matter. Like I would be like literally hanging in the doorway, just like this, just looking at TikTok, like not comfortable, not acting like a human being whatsoever. TikTok is so dangerous.
But we've gained a lot of fans, and a lot of our people love like. We'll just put it's fun because we were doing like a bunch of covers on there, and it was like when you play live, there's like one cover that you can do in your set or whatever, and it's like which one? But now we have the ability to just play like all kinds of songs we love.
Yeah, it's way more conversational too, and it's really cool.
That one, and then also like obviously Instagram. I don't really go on Facebook. I don't know who touches our Facebook, but
my mom does. My mom's on our Facebook all the time.
I wouldn't touch that.
Oh Facebook. Yeah, a lot of parents right now are on Facebook. I would say it's shifting that way for sure. Yes, but yeah, I mean it's funny you guys kind of like are looping right into my like my next question, which is like, is there any advice that you would give to, because there's some producers, there are some artists, there are some people who work with all of those people in the chat right now, and like I guess is there any advice that you would give to a band or an artist or creative or a team that might feel like overwhelmed by the amount of options that exist for connecting with fans? Like how do you guys decide? Because surely there's, you guys mentioned Facebook and there's these other places, but you choose to spend your time in particular areas. How do you do that, and what advice would you give to people?
I would say just start doing it. Just start doing it. There are, in the early days, people started showing up on Twitter as they just accidentally got to the shows, or they saw us at a show or something like that. And that grew very organically like that. And the other socials grew running off of other socials growing, and so on and so forth. But especially now with TikTok being such a huge access point for so many people now, just do it. Like just start making stuff. And social media is such a cool way to tell stories too. Like you can just put whatever you want on these websites. They'll let you do it.
Then they'll let you.
Literally, you can just put whatever you want. You can, so
you can have whatever opinion you want.
Well, that too. But like you can, I mean, the possibilities are endless, and we just kind of found our voice and our language that our people connected with, because we just kind of we just be ourselves, and the people that resonate with it have found it because of like being connected to shows and tours and stuff like that, essentially, especially in the beginning, but now in pandemic times, because of TikTok, that's been a huge growth tool for us. And like I said,
you have to treat it kind of like touring, because touring is a very I mean, not to get off topic,
it's a labor of love, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
You got to put work into it, but it's cool to see like the growth happen. But like going off what Kyle was saying is like, find try everything, and then find what is working best for you. And it might take a really long time to see any type of result. We did TikTok for months and months before anything like started catching the algorithm. And we've posted a few in the last few weeks that have not caught the algorithm, and it's just like whatever. I mean, like you just have to keep trying it. And
that's the beauty of it, is that you can make another TikTok. It's not it's
not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. You can write another tweet. You can post another Instagram post. You know what I mean?
That is the beauty of it.
I think there are certain elements of commercial accessibility that you consider when you're doing that kind of thing, and how you want to brand and market yourself and tell those stories. But once you've figured that out, and once you've got a clear vision on how that goes, and are also willing to accept that will change over time, then all you can do is just keep at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, some people, look at TikTok and they are like, oh, like you can't be, or it's starting to get this kind of thing of like, oh, you can't be a real artist like and also do TikTok. And I think that's a lot of times why the like hesitation goes there, because there's like a lot of this like novelty, this kind of fleeting nature of it, but it just cycles so quickly. Um, how do you was that your sort of initial hesitation, or was it something else, or was it just like another platform, and is it really going to be worth the time? And
I think,
like,
yeah, it was a little bit of everything. I think as far as like just kind of putting content on the app, a lot of the first part of it was like, uh, yeah, this is just like people doing dances and stuff like that. This isn't where the kind of
I don't think. Yeah.
this isn't where our people hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's
then
almost like I don't see anybody that would like us on this app.
yeah,
You know
but
what I
then
mean?
as you spend more time on it, obviously you see something for everyone literally on TikTok, and it's crazy the
Yeah.
amount of like little TikTok. It's like Reddit. There's like all these TikTok subgenres that I've gone
I
down.
see
rabbit
somebody
holes
asked.
for.
Maybe
Or
we change the TikTok to
oh,
It's
yeah.
a good question from Kush or Crush,
Crush
not
Cast.
Kush.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good question. I think that
and by the way, for anybody who's listening that might not see the chat, Crushtastic is asking, that is saying that TikTok feels like a terrible fit for them. Is there any advice on whether they should force them out or not?
Kush.
I mean,
sorry, I didn't mean to say Kush.
I think
It's
I
all
think
the
a lot.
it's all the green.
Yeah, exactly. It's all agreeing. A lot of what I think helped me want to just like start thinking in that way about how to make TikTok work in the beginning was I started seeing other creators on TikTok do really creative and really artful things, and I was like, oh, this is really cool actually. And look at these people have an amazing platform. There's people that are really invested in the work, the artistic work that they do. It just happens to be on TikTok, which kind of has this silly taste to it, but it's a very real place for people to do very real art. So I think it's just like,
Yeah, and finding what, like Kyle said, you can always post another TikTok. You can always delete your like a TikTok.
Yeah.
Like it's finding what resonates the best, because the cool thing about TikTok that is not happening anywhere else on any other social media, as far as I know, is it is pushing your video out to random people that might have interest in that. And so I think there's an intentional way of doing it, and that will connect with people much more than I saw Kyle's in here. He talked about 1975 or Frank Ocean being on TikTok versus Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo makes like cooking videos or something. Like he's not promoting his art and not. I don't know if he still makes music. I'm not sure.
Savage love.
But we were gonna do like yeah, we were thinking about doing like comedy videos on TikTok, and then it was like, wait, that wouldn't like push our music at all. Like why would we do that?
But at the same time, like not only was it that, but we just really didn't. That's when you open your brain to make a TikTok, that's just not what came out for us. You know what I mean? It was music, or it was other ways of selling the culture that we're trying to promote surrounding our music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was definitely a process, and I think it was really stressful at first, because we were like, we know we have to put time and energy into this, but I really don't know what to do right now.
And
I don't know what to do right now.
Exactly what Tenlo Music said. That's that is true.
Yeah, and you know what? Let them have that, because like I don't think anyone wants to see either of us doing that. So
no,
you know what I mean?
We stay in our lane.
You don't know until you try, is I think the saying. But
I mean,
I'm not saying that I can't. I'm just saying that I do it in private.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. So no, I mean, I feel like that's a good way to look at it, and I do want to know, like, because I feel like that maybe there was some conversation that maybe had happened in the past about the idea of would the 1975 or Frank Ocean be on TikTok versus Jason Derulo. I don't know if Kyle was asking you guys that because you guys had talked about it, or if he's just asking us generally.
Well, I'm not sure either.
You know what? We have talked a lot about TikTok with Kyle. Oh my god! And I see Leiden's talking about the pandemic dinner party. That was the only thing.
That was a good comedy one.
You'll never see. I did like 10 more.
Did we delete it?
No, it's still.
It's still up.
But yeah, I think in that regard, it's just we talk a lot about the type of artist, the type of band that we want to be almost every day now, because we're,
gearing
like,
up for the next,
yeah.
whatever the next thing is.
So yeah, I think people are like, well, do you want to be the type of person that
You want to be a
is-
TikTok
you want to be a
artist?
TikTok band? No, we just like happen to do our thing on TikTok.
And we want to promote ourselves on
Yeah.
TikTok.
We're not Instagram influencers, but we also exist
That's a
on
great
Instagram.
way. That's a great way to look at it.
That's
I'm
what
not a
it is.
Twitter famous person, but I'm just trying to
We still tweet.
tweet.
Yeah. We still tell stories and promote our culture and our music on
Whatever.
Instagram.
We're not on MySpace, I think we should get on MySpace.
Yeah, we could try out MySpace.
So let's see if everybody can spot the difference between your comedy ones and your music ones real quick.
Oh yeah,
since we brought
yeah.
it
That
up.
first one. That's the.
Anyways, cheers to us and a happy quarantine.
There
you go.
I actually drank that chicken stock, by the way.
This is gross, man. Why'd you
Yeah,
do
dude.
that?
I believe it.
Choose whatever one has the most views.
I like
I want so much more. Sometimes I'm rocking straight to the core. Alright, she wants to know what it's like. So do I. My head is spinning through every single line. I guess this is why and more. Sometimes I'm rocking straight to the core. Alright, she wants to know what it's like. So do I. My head is spinning through every single line. Okay, alright, fine.
let's go.
That one did a little bit better than the comedy one, I think.
Hey, okay, sorry everybody. Okay, I'm just trying to try my best.
And that was when we were separated too. Yeah, I was in Florida.
You're
He
like
was-
I did not approve of that idea.
You're just up. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. But it's like there's personality in both of it, So I don't know. I think it's cool. But and I get, we're nearing the end of the stream, and again, for everybody who's on here who hasn't checked these guys out, they just put an EP out that is incredible, top to bottom.
Thank
You
you,
gotta
man.
check it out. And we'll make sure that their links are in the chat, so you can follow them and stay in touch. But I want to know, with you guys having this very independent spirit about you guys, like how do you approach the prospect of building your team? Because as things grow, you start adding people to the team. So I'm just curious for just to hear from you. Bless you, to hear from you, but also to
Thank you.
Was that wait?
Thank you.
That's remind me of your wife's name. Chris. I knew it.
Kristen, who also is Kiwi in the chat. She goes by Unstoppable Kiwi. She said it's soup about your drink.
Oh right. You're welcome. Yeah.
So, but yeah, for anybody in the chat that might be like thinking about building out their team and everything, like how are you guys going about it? When is the right time to bring another person on board?
That's a good question,
Yeah.
because I think we had the same question for a number of years until about the last year. We went to, you know what I'm going to bring up? We
What?
went to this like Q&A type
Oh.
thing with this band. I'm not going to say the band. I could tell you off stream.
Oh my god.
And the interviewer, who I'll tell you later, was
Oh man, I can't wait.
yeah, I know. I was asking, she was asking these people. She was like, "How did you get signed? How did you get a manager?" We were wondering the same things.
Can
That's why
I
we
do
were
my
there.
impression of it? Can I do my impression of it?
I mean, sure.
So-
But like,
Yeah. Basically, they were kind of like dancing. They were like, "Yeah, it just happens," and I
Well,
hate
that answer.
It was a very real question of like explain to the audience the process of a similar question as what you're talking about now. Explain the process of building up a team and what you look for in people that you surround yourself with, and also how to go about finding these people if you feel like you are at the right step. And literally, this was the answer. Yeah, man. I mean, like, you just got to surround yourself with people that believe and support in your vision, and the rest will come.
And she's like, wait, well, can you explain a little more how you got introduced to your management or your label?
You just
It's like,
basically
no,
you
it just
gotta-
happens, man.
You just gotta
Just send DMs for 6 hours a day to random people.
Just-
and
It just
literally
happens.
all they kept saying was, if you just surround yourself with the right people, you're unstoppable, man.
That's literally it. And we're like, that gives us no effort.
Yeah, what is that?
So I definitely don't want to give that answer to anybody.
Yeah.
Somebody said vibes, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
vibes,
the
bro.
kind of people they were.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
anyways,
I think
part of that is true. Surrounding yourself with, if you have a manager or an agent or a
Some sort of
label
team member,
who
yeah.
is not, who's not like, I don't know what I'm trying to like. If you don't share the same end goal, and that's not a very prominent thing in your conversations and just everything,
and even the same vision day to day, the bottom line is that these people are going to be taken away from your bottom line at the end of the day financially. So it's like, if you are the artist, who do you like? Who makes the cut? You know what I mean? Maybe that's a kind of a brutalistic way of saying that, but like,
yeah, I mean, it's true though.
it's true. Like this is your and their livelihood you're talking about here,
and it's also your vision.
Yeah,
So it's like,
exactly.
if somebody is, I don't know. Yeah, it is a tough question because, like I said, I don't want to give an answer like that band did and just give you no help at all.
But to be honest, I can be totally honest about this right now. I was for years, as we were making friends with people in the industry in small ways, like agents, managers, and stuff like that. I would literally ask them, like, how do I get a manager? And they would tell me the same like BS stuff of like, yeah, it just kind of happens. These people were working in the industry professionally, and lo and behold, though, you just kind of you literally you earn leverage. You make people pay attention to you or somehow, and I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, basically the whole thing is, if you're looking to expand your team, unfortunately I can't give you an answer of like, this is how you do it,
Right, because I'm sure it's different for everybody too, right?
Yeah. And I think somebody said, when the time comes, those people find you.
Yeah.
I think that's extremely true. Like, we had the opportunity to go out and support our good friends called Sleep Talk out in Los Angeles. And we got to play the Troubadour out there to a sold out crowd. It was honestly one of the best nights of either of our lives. And that night we met our manager, Anthony. He was interning at a label or management company out there. And we just talked at the Troubadour bar for a really long time. And he's just a college kid, and
who's really hungry, who really supported what we were.
He's really hungry. We went to Denny's.
Well,
no, hungry. We did
he
go
was
to Denny's.
starving.
Yeah, and I mean, we went and we met him, and actually, believe it or not, it took us like 9 or 10 months to actually be like, okay, man, yeah, you can manage us, because there was getting too much.
Long?
It was a long time.
I'm starting to feel like your concept of time is like double mine. Maybe I just.
What was it, 6 months? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Either way.
Sorry, one second, guys. Sorry.
What's up, guys?
Basically,
No, sorry, that was
good.
horrible. We had ordered on Uber Eats, and I forget that it calls my phone, and I wasn't about to just yell Kristen in the middle of the thing, and I was like, this hasn't happened in the history of the stream, so I wasn't sure how to handle it. So I was like, and if the pizza didn't make it into the building, Kiwi would literally never forgive me. So I was like,
oh my god,
I had to do it. Sorry for
what did you get?
Rude. But speaking of Denny's, by the way, when I used to tour in a band, my favorite thing to get was like, there was a time where there was like a late night menu that was centered around like bands and their songs and stuff, and there was a Hoobastank burrito, and that shit was fire. Whatever the fuck was in it, I don't remember. It probably took years off of my life, but it was really good. And I don't know if anybody in the chat remembers the Hoobastank burrito and whatever the fuck it was called. It might have even been called the like Hoobastank burrito. Was it called Crawling in the Dark? I don't know. But
Oh, that
Um,
doesn't. I don't want a burrito to be crawling in the dark.
That's awesome though, and we don't go to Denny's enough. I think we were just we were on that tour budget, and we had
Yeah.
to spend very little on
Yes.
our food.
Yes,
You're
Anthony's a classy guy. He took us to the best, the great
didn't
Denny's.
pay.
No, he didn't pay.
But yeah, so anyways, we played in LA. We met Anthony. He slid up on all our stories,
Yeah, all the
texted us
time.
and was like, "Hey, any more thought on me
Yeah, yeah.
managing you?" And we were just like, "Whatever, man." But then it got to the point where it was like, I think our buddy Jacob, who used to be in the band, said it best. He was like, "All right, there's four of us. The four of us can't do this all ourselves.
Mhm.
So anybody doing like a crap job at it is going to be better than the four of us
Trying to do
trying to balance this
Mhm.
ourselves." And not that Anthony's a crap manager; he's far
He's a
from
wonderful
it.
man. Yeah.
But it was like, all right, we need somebody else. We can't handle this all ourselves
Yeah.
anymore. And then him and Kyle started managing us. And
Yeah, he introduced us to his friend Kyle, and then became our like day-to-day manager.
Yeah,
who was who's in the chat, right? Or at least I saw him
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
And I think you met him once
Mhm.
in at the
Yeah,
office.
I got to talk to both of them. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Right, and we did that BMI little thing together.
Yeah.
Well, I forget what it was, but anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And to be completely transparent, beyond that, we got Phil. Obviously, Phil was a fan of the music and just kind of reached out and was like, "Can I work for you guys?"
And that's another one too. So Phil, for people that don't know, Phil Dudevar is our creative director, and like I said, like the other member of DBMK that's behind the scenes all the time. And it's so great because even like the fans know him, and he's very much a part of like the culture and the social media stuff too. But yeah, that's it. It's literally those three people and us, and that's DBMK. And yeah,
I mean, and we have a pretty small team, and we're meeting people every day. But as of right now, it's really just like, I wouldn't take on too many people, more people than you need. I'd say, if that's an advice to anybody, take that how you will. But don't think you need a big ass team to succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's me and Kyle, our manager Kyle, Anthony, and Phil. That's it. Like, we're just kind of doing
every
it,
day.
you know. And we have some help along the way with like distribution, and all the people at Level are super cool. But really, like the core DBMK people are just us. So don't bite off too much than you can chew. What's the expression?
You don't bite off more than you can chew.
Then you can chew.
Yeah, because like I said, at the end of the day, those people are taking a cut. You know, so if they're there, they got to be there for a reason. You know what I mean? And that's really important. That's brutal, but it's honest, because when you're trying to quit your day job and do it for real, that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? So
if that offers any help to anybody,
yeah, I hope that's
No,
helpful.
Feel
I
free.
feel like a lot of it answered.
No, I mean, and it's true. It's so individual. It's very much like I think what you guys were saying about like, because a lot of people, the first thing is like, oh, I need a label, I need a manager, I need all these things to kind of make it happen. But the thing that I've been impressed about, the thing that has impressed me the most about you guys and continues to impress me the most is you guys you're not waiting on anybody to make it happen. Like you're doing it, and your fans clearly appreciate the effort that you put into communicating with them. So, I think that that's such a huge thing that people underestimate, is that like you can do it on your own. And a big reason why I like doing this show is like getting to talk to you guys like now, and then who knows, like in a few years we could be talking, and you guys are the biggest band in the world, and then it's like you'll have a totally different perspective at that point. But you guys are closer to where some people in the chat might be, or like at the same level that like we can all kind of commiserate about the process and like what we're going through and how we're doing it. Even though like I had been doing major A&R at a major record label and have had a perspective in a certain way for so long, like getting to have a frank discussion about it and what you guys like look for and have the real like conversations like has always been what I've appreciated about you guys. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
There was a late question from Cyclone said, how do you guys combat writer's block?
That's a good question. Huh. That is a good question because I feel like I don't know.
I call my mom.
Oh, really?
I call my mom. I call my grandma.
Make me angry. I need something to write about.
No, it's not even that. It's just like I don't know. For me, that always, and we've been writing a lot about growing up and writing about hometown too. So that's been a lot of that. But I don't know.
That's a really good question. I don't know
Go-
exactly. We have writer's block.
Yeah, go for a walk. Go do something else. I mean,
Who was it that said it was like if you are just making music all the time and then you get writer's block, you need to go live some life. I think it was a podcast I was listening to.
No, we started talking about that earlier this year. We were like, "There's no life that we're living."
Yeah.
So what is the thing that we're writing about?
I heard I was listening to a podcast the other day. It was about Childish Gambino. Donald Glover, he took a bunch of time off before he wrote because of the internet.
God,
And it was because he was like, I need to live some life before I write again. So yeah, I think just you don't have to write your hit song today or tomorrow. Like live some life, and living life in COVID times is hard. Yeah,
But at the same time, I think it's all about. We're talking a lot about balance lately. Balancing the life that you're living, like that is required to make songs, but also the fact that it's very simple that inspiration has to catch you working sometimes. That's why we write every day. We try and do that. I mean,
inspiration has to keep you or catch you working.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite quotes for sure.
Even in small ways, even if it's just like I need to get this, I need to write all this all down on paper just so that it makes more sense in my mind. You know what I mean? Like a journal type entry or something like that. Like it's all valuable. So.
Well, guys, thank you again for taking the time. We have reached the end of the stream and our awesome conversation. At least I thought it was. It would have been even more awesome had I remembered to go out and get a turtleneck.
Next time.
But next time, please forgive me for that.
No,
so
not
now
at all.
we've reached for those of you again in the chat that want to check out DBMK. Here is their socials, as they also have a Discord server that is here. Oh wow! Whoops. Dyslexic.
We're gonna go.
They're like done with this guy. Wow.
That's it.
But
It's literally right here. You messed it up.
it's my fingers. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't get the shirt right. I can't get the typing right. All right, we've reached the part of the stream where we are going to. It's clearly, I guess, sponsored by TurboTax because it's like right in the middle of the screen.
Oh, wow.
No, but we're going to choose a music stream to raid, and preferably it's going to be somebody who's just starting out that we can support, that is doing music. I'd like to kind of pick a tag to kind of help. Do you guys want to choose like a singer, a producer, a drummer? I tend to just like gravitate towards people who are singing on the thing. There's a lot of DJs on a Friday night. So this is kind of a mess, which is why I was like,
oh, what is that Logic session?
Do the Logic session.
What is that? It says, it just said, wait, scroll down. Wait, no.
Wait,
Yeah, no, it's delayed. It's delayed. There was one with a Logic session. It was on the right.
So there's a bunch of Logic sessions right here.
Yeah, any of those, just because these all have like 0 viewers.
Let's see. We'll go down. Hey, there's us.
Oh, really?
Huh.
And then.
Oh yeah, right there.
Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
I like the orange and the purple and the green, giving me like Scooby Doo vibes.
Yeah, we're delayed over here watching your.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
It was. Scroll down a little.
It just said
no
really?
mic. No mic.
I thought the one that looked really cool. It just said really.
Let's just
That
do
was the name of
pick whatever one. Any of these look good.
Wait, it just had really in the title.
Yeah, that was the title of the stream. Was just really like. with an exclamation point. I'm telling you, this is real.
Was this before I had
It
changed?
was on the other page, yeah.
Let's just pick. Yeah, do any of these. Do any of these.
Yeah.
These look great. The guy with building a DJ set one.
It's my birthday almost. Oh.
Wait, they say it's my birthday almost. Oh, he's wearing the same color hoodie as me. I don't want to look like I'm like matching somebody.
Oh, right.
You know, I don't want somebody just taking my style or anything like that.
This is funny rating him.
What about this person? Friday Night Vibes, road to 250 followers.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I love it.
Let's check it out. Let's see.
NBA championship.
There's an ad right now.
For every NBA moment, there's a flavor on DoorDash.
Follower only chat. We're not doing that. Submit beats and songs. Is this person playing a washboard? What's happening?
Oh my god, if they're playing a washboard, I want to see that.
Let's see what's going on here.
Because they like being pet, you know? Tom Petty.
Oh yes, this is so good.
Goes to
Tell us another joke about.
Echo.
No, we'll not do it.
Thank you. I would like to thank my dad for teaching me dad jokes.
This is awesome.
Oh.
Tell us another dad joke.
I could probably do a verse of it, but I don't want to mess it up too bad. Okay.
So how do you
Don't sell
rate it?
yourself
What do you
short. You're
do?
the
So
Jessica
So
Holloway.
then we'll select rate and
It's
then
the
we'll
same thing
go
all the way
in,
through.
but
You got
I
this. You
wonder
got
if
this.
Here,
All right, here's another dad joke while she's figuring
here we
out.
go.
Why did the
We're gonna
chicken cross the
rate.
road?
Okay.
Because.
Oh my god.
All right, here we go. Here's a. It's actually a funny one too. It's really
It's a
There
funny
we go.
dad
All right,
So
here's my
what's
attempt at
gonna-
Tom Petty.
We're gonna mute this right now. So everybody who's in the chat, there's gonna be a button, or I don't know if it automatically rolls you into the raid or not, but right now we're about to raid this person telling dad jokes with a washboard, and I'm hoping.
How many views do they have? Do they have a
for
lot of
more
views?
dad jokes? Right now they have 7 people watching, so we're gonna go in with we're gonna bring 15 more people to the
Oh,
whole
nice.
thing because he told us the dad joke. So guys, thank you DBMK for being here. Thank you to
Thank you.
everybody who joined the stream. This will be uploaded to YouTube so you can watch it back and relive your favorite
Oh, nice.
moments
Oh,
that
amazing.
probably involve a turtleneck. And I will see you guys next week. And actually, real quick, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna take a quick break so I can literally scarf down some pizza, and then we're gonna be doing a stream of Among Us. So if you want to watch me get murdered by my friends in cold blood, join us in a little bit. But we're gonna end the stream on an awesome note with our friends here in DBMK. Thank you everybody for being here.
Thank
Show
you,
some
Chris.
love-
Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
so much, Chris.
Yeah,
It's great
show,
having you.
show some love to Brightside Studio, guys. See you see you in a little bit for Among Us. Later.
Right. See you, man.
Boom. You guys can talk in the chat now and be able to.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I have the chat up right here.
Yeah. So let's see if they're excited about it.
Norway,
All right. I'll see you guys in the chat.
Norway.